this KO. Full Moon Rondo, 20 damage plus 20 more for each benched Pokemon in play. With the weakness, it's all more than enough to take down the mighty Raging Bolt.
And this is confidence that Giovanni has in his hand. Once more, it's another deck where you're not worried about hand disruption on the other side of the table. If your hand says you've got Night Stretcher to follow up Lily's Clefairy, you can put pressure on a Hoot Hoot, then the prize exchange doesn't matter nearly as much to you. Giovanni clearly could just close the game out on the following turn if we don't see a Noctowl right here, right now.
Andres' hand is freed up now with no item lock from Giovanni. Frillish not utilized, so that does open, of course, plenty of more options. Andres also would be able to utilize his Sandy Shocks EX now that Giovanni has taken 2 prize cards, so that is another way he could get more energy cards into play.
And I think we saw a really key card there for Andres on that side of the table. It is the Prime Catcher in hand. If there is a world where you can play down enough energies onto this board, perhaps Gardevoir EX falls this turn, that would be pretty massive, and it really asks a lot of Giovanni in this spot when both Gardevoir would then be in the discard pile.
Andres also does want to evolve the Hoot Hoot that has the 30 damage on it. It's in range of being KO'd by some Monkey Dory on the next turn. I honestly wonder if he wants to evolve his second Hoot Hoot, as well as the threat of triple Monkey Dory should Andres take a knockout is very much alive.
Yeah, there's a world where if you do remove the Gardevoir, then you're only worried about 40 damage on the other side, so just that single Noctowl would be okay, but we're asking so much of Andres on this point. He has 1 energy on the board. He's already used his ability from his Teal Mask Ogerpon. He needs to make some magic happen.
Ultra Ball discards Latias and the basic fighting. Looks like Pheasantipity is going to be a potential choice. I'm going to take stock of the rest of his options first before locking it in. Sandy Shock's considered, but no, Raging Bolt will be the play. And I wonder if this is signaling Kyle he's going all in on taking a big knockout, or will he kind of hedge his bets a little bit here, saying, hey, Giovanni, I noticed you put down both your Night Stretchers already. If I KO this Lily's Clefairy EX, you may have a hard time getting another attacker established.
Yep, we see a few good cards in the hand to go along with this. With the Noctowl now, we have the Jewel Seeker. You can search out a little more help with this Night Stretcher. He's got the Glass Trumpet as well for an additional energy to the board. This is how you get to the magic number of, what, 5 discards to KO this Gardevoir. It doesn't feel like an optimal play, but sure enough, that is the lifeline of the deck on the other side.
Whatever Andres does here, Giovanni will be able to knock out either of these Raging Bolts. If he KOs the active Clefairy, Giovanni can just simply send up Gardevoir EX, use Monkey Dories, and take that knockout, even without Fairy Zone active. And of course, if he knocks out Gardevoir, then Giovanni, will just promote the Lily's Clefairy EX and simply take the knockout necessary. So Andres is trying to set up the 2-turn play here. He's going to take 2 prizes here. How can he best set up to try to close things out, assuming he's going to get disrupted on the next turn? Yeah, that's what he's trying to do, just get a bunch of energy in play.
And he's doing just that. That's perfect. You just need to flood the board with the energies right now. He has the resources, and you can leave one of those energies on the benched Raging Bolt. If that works out for you, then it's just Lily's Clefairy against you. 2-to-1 prize cards remaining, and Andres has plenty of resources. He still has a Hoot Hoot available, too, that could evolve. We haven't seen the Watchtower on the other side. Maybe he makes something happen with that last 2 prize cards.
Lots of energy being added. Glass Trumpet played. You can only use that item card if you've got a Terra Pokemon in play. Then you get to attach an energy to 2 of your benched colorless Pokemon. A really nice card in this deck. I mean, it effectively says Raging Bolt EX does 140 more damage.
Yeah, and you think of the possibilities here with Sandy Shocks as well. There's just, you can steal upwards of 8 energies from nowhere onto the board state. And look at this, multiple grass energies and a Sada's Vitality to go along with this. If you were worried about energies beforehand, you're not now. There's a big KO lined up, and Andres is just 2 prize cards away from closing this out against a Gardevoir-less deck on the other side. How does Giovanni come back from this?
Giovanni could technically win the game on the next turn, Kyle. He needs to find Rare Candy, Gardevoir, and the 3rd Monkey Dory with a Darkness Energy. That would set him up to close out this game using those Adrenabrains, KOing either the Hoot Hoot or the Noctowl, and then getting through, of course, the active Raging Bolt with his Lily's Clefairy EX. It's a lot to ask for. Let's see if he can do it.
We have to speak to the greed, though. How do you find that Gardevoir 2 in the prize? Or 2 in the discard pile now, but
Maybe
there's
with a
Super Rod Ultra Ball in hand.
That is his last recovery option. He does still need rare candy.
Rare candy here.
1, 2, 3. He does not find it.
Right, this isn't the end just yet. We do not see a Latias on the other side, so is there a chance to maybe stall something out with a Frillish?
I mean, could he just go counter catcher up Raging Bolt plus Iono Andres to 2? That would be crossing your fingers, of course, that Andres does not draw out of it, but perhaps if he found the Watchtower, he'd feel more comfortable with a line like that.
No, that's a great point. If you find that card, you have a little more of a chance. I wonder if even at this stage of the game, you would feel more comfortable with a different supporter just to see more cards at this stage. But he committed to this line, but rightfully so. If you found the rare candy there, you were golden.
Ultra Ball will discard Jellicent EX and Latias EX. Looking through the deck, there is Curlia there. There's that rare candy Giovanni was crossing his fingers for. He's taking stock of his options, trying to determine if he has a line to close it out this turn, and it does seem like those lines are fading.
And to take a peek at the prize cards once more, can you think of a card that could have helped out in this stage with that secret box just sitting there waiting for him?
Or the option of Screamtail, of course. I mean, many cards that Giovanni wished he would have, just not quite available to him. So many cards still in his hand to work with currently. Looks like he'll just be thinning out that Technical Machine Devolution, attaching it to Pheasantipity. Gonna take a look at Andres' discard pile, see what resources he has exhausted. For Andres, I think at this point, seeing Giovanni kind of take this long on this turn, he's probably feeling pretty good.
Yeah, and it means that you're probably not seeing the Gardevoir at this stage. There's contemplation for which supporter to use, and when they start counting out your resources, you start thinking about Iono. But there is news that there are 3 Fighting Energy in the discard pile. You know the deck list, so the reach for a Raging Bolt definitely requires something like that Professor Sada's Vitality, some way to get these Pokemon back. But we see Giovanni, he's going to give himself a chance. He brings the Gardevoirs back into the deck. Can you imagine a world where this Iono found rare candy
Don't
Gardevoir?
speak that into existence.
I have to. That's our job.
That would be an incredible thing to see. And though I don't know how helpful it actually would be unless Giovanni could also get down that third Monkey Dory right now with a Darkness Energy, as it still leads to him taking a KO this turn and just crossing his fingers. It actually will be Frillish taking up that final bench space. Taking up that final bench space. Giovanni does have Counter Catcher in hand.
Ooh, and this was
for the Lily.
This was the consideration now. If he did have a different supporter, then do you feel more comfortable just going for the Watchtower? If you see this card, you feel pretty good that it will be difficult for your opponent to find the last resources.
Watchtower plus Item Lock would be a pretty strong combo against Andres' deck.
I mean, think about it. You've already seen Prime Catcher. You don't have any other item cards. The only way to get a Fighting Energy back would be with the supporter of choice. So now you can't use Boss's Orders and that supporter.
6 cards being drawn. There is the Adrena Brain moving 3 from the active Monkey Dory over to that Noctowl. Will retreat off that Darkness Energy, and that card is in the discard pile for the rest of the game as all of his recovery options have been exhausted. 1 more damage counter moved over to Hoot Hoot, and it will be Oceanic Gloom. 40 damage.
Yes.
Thanks to that weakness.
That's not how
Definitely
it works.
not 1. I think he's still a little fresh off of...
That's still not how it works.
He's a little fresh off his game against Karis, where he was getting hit with Badoo very, very consistently. Oh my goodness.
Look at this hand.
That is a lot of energy cards, Kyle.
Okay, well, if you were worried about finding the resources to take a 2-prize KO, all of them are right there. However, you cannot promote the right Pokemon to the active spot. You will have a pile of energies by the end of this turn. But what is the most impactful decision that you can make here? Does include charging up that baby Raging Bolt? How do you move from the active spot?
Going to be a teal dance for one to kick off the sequence, and I think the only way to move forward looks like it will be through Professor Sada's Vitality, attaching energy to 2 ancient Pokemon and drawing 3 cards. It feels like a long time since I've said those words, but that's what we're doing here in Toronto this weekend.
I think I like the fighting energy to the Baby Raging Bolt and then trying to top deck the Latias at this stage, moving the Raging Bolts and opening up some options with the Baby Raging Bolt maybe would be the most impactful.
There's Boss, Energy Switch, and Professor Sada. No Latias, so Andres will have to settle for a KO on the Frillish, should he so choose.
I don't think you do.
But maybe he just passes?
Yeah, he has Boss's orders. You don't want to open up the bench space. You don't want to allow Pheasantipity to attack. And the Frillish is stuck in the active spot because there's no Rare Candy Gardevoir just yet. You can't move this Pokemon. I'm not sure this is the right way to go about this here. Giovanni's going to see a ton of cards, and he just needs to find, what, a Dark Energy for his Monkey Dory and Rare Candy Gardevoir to make this happen?
I'm not sure that the Lightning Energy was on that Baby Raging Bolt, so we do need to get that sorted out.
That's
because it was the Fighting Energy on that Raging Bolt. The Lightning Energy was from the active Raging Bolt EX, so we'll get that sorted very, very soon. I'd like to see that happen before Giovanni kind of takes this turn.
Well,
as it could impact his decisions here. But he will start with the Darkness Energy. I think that's always happening, of course. The Monkey Dory gets the Darkness Energy attached, and Lily's Determination could be the supporter of choice, and sure enough, it will be.
This is a hedge, though. There was Artisan in the hand, but he's going to make it so that the Rocket's Watchtower is also a play for him. Doesn't want to fully commit to the Rare Candy Gardevoir line here to try to win the game, but does have a great setup right now to get things moving.
Yeah, so what happened here is Andres was debating what energy cards to discard with his use of Bellowing Thunder. He needed to discard 2. He was moving the energy cards around as he was doing it, and not EX. Put the Lightning Energy had to be on the active because you need the Lightning and Fighting to use Bellowing Thunder in the first place.
Right, so just swapping those energies back into place would resolve this issue for us, and then we can get to the most important draws of the tournament,
yes,
which I think everybody
a lot because he didn't.
That X now, and he can't.
It sorted out. Those energies weren't that you know, the board state is correct, so we are a-okay.
All right, cameraman.
Giovanni is continuing on here with his Lily's Determination.
Lock in. This is everything at this stage of the game. If Giovanni can find the resources he put back in to Gardevoir for this moment. He wants to see Rare Candy Gardevoir. If so, he can knock out that Hoot. He can knock out the active.
Ooh, I see the Rare Candy. I don't see the Gardevoir.
But he still has the Pheasantipity to draw through at this point. He saved it for this spot. 3 cards. Does he see it?
No Gardevoir EX found. No Ultra Ball. So many of those resources have already been exhausted. A shake of the head from Giovanni. Not even a Curlia to try to get something established.
And then look at this. He finds the Artisan once more. The card that he could have played down. The card he could have thinned a little bit, but he does see that little reward in the Watchtower to potentially help him stick around for an additional turn. But there's only 1 prize remaining for Andres. He has 3 energies on the board. What else can you do? Just a KO here. What's the answer for Andres? He has the Professor Sada's Vitality, and he will take the...
But my hope will